Everyone, and welcome to the Google for Startup Accelerator Middle East and North Africa Class 2 Graduation Demo Day. Assalamu alaikum and bonjour and azul filawan. This is really our second cohort in 2021. It has been an amazing journey the last 3 months. And we wanted to share the startup success, some advices from multiple people in Google, as well as outside Google from our partner. So let's go ahead and start. First, I'm Salim Abid. I manage the developer ecosystem as well as the Accelerator program. And I'll go through a little bit of what happened the last 3 months, as well as what we are doing in the region to support Google mission to ensure, we give as many opportunities to people as possible. After that, we have a special guest, Lino, who's managing director for MENA. We'll go through multiple pitches from the different startups. We have also the managing director for Google Cloud. That will be really a great insight in how Google Cloud is enabling businesses and developing the region. Then we have special guests. We have Ahmed Gouroua in Egypt to talk to us about the startup in Egypt. And after that, we continue with our pitching from different countries. And then we have a special guest from Morocco. Then we go to the second part of our event, which is mostly covering insight into the program. We will talk to some of the mentors and speakers. We'll talk to startup founders about their experience, their advice to future startups who want to be part of this program. We'll finish with Kevin, who is the lead, global lead for the Google for Startup Accelerator, to tell us more about new programs that we are launching. And then we end up with the Startup Success Manager, and then some insight and some learning. So let's talk first about what are we doing in the region. We have multiple programs that we have launched in the last few years to support the community. So the first one is the Gdg Program, the Google Developer Program, where we have more than 70 community around the globe in all countries, 17 countries in the region. We have the Google Developer Expert. If you are interested in the Google Developer Expert, we would love for you to apply. So go online and check for Google Developer Expert. I'll talk a little bit more about Google for Startup Accelerator. And then we launched 2 years ago, the Google Developer Student Club. This year, I have a good news where we have launched 190 community supporting university across the 17 countries. So this is really a good program if you are a student to sign up to look to in your university for something called GFSA or Google Developer Student Club and join them to learn machine learning, Android, cloud. And last but not least is the Women Tech Maker program that we have been supporting for the last 10 years to enable women to get into technology, into entrepreneurship. So please go check online, womentechmaker.com. You'll find more information about this program. When we talk about the Google for Startup Accelerator program, it's really a 12 weeks program, 3 months. And our focus primarily is really on technology and leadership. So what we want also to do is really ensure that startups are meeting with experts as many times as possible. So this is why we try to have a sort of balance between workshop and training and mentorship. And we try to provide more mentorship opportunity to the startup. So we have more than, and we are going to hear from some of those later on. We have more than 150 mentors and speakers, and this is what makes our program very special. Our focus on technology, on machine learning, on Android, on Kotlin, on Flutter, on all of those aspects of technology is critical because that's where we see there's a need in the MENA region for tech accelerator primarily. So we received more than 300 applications in class 2, 500 applications in class 1. We selected 12 exciting startups that you are going to hear from most of them. As I said, we really value all the mentors and trainers involved. And we have spent so far more than 150 hours of mentorship, more than 40 workshops conducted. So the good news is really we are going to open class 3 tomorrow. So if you are excited about the program, you will hear about testimonial from the mentors, from the startup, about why you should apply for this program. So we encourage you to do that. So as you can see here, the structure of the program, like, every few weeks we cover a specific topic. And then one of the things that we are trying to do, and we started this early this year, is take some of the critical components of the program and try to scale it and provide it to as many startups as possible. So if you have been with us in April, you will have seen that, hey, we started with a design thinking lab. We trained at that time, I believe, about 60 startups. I'm happy to say, so far until today, we trained 185 startups on the design thinking lab. And we have a plan to launch in the next few days an initiative in different countries, in Oman, in Saudi Arabia, to train more than 40 startups in the next 3 months. So we are always looking to how we can enable startups. This is part of a broader initiative that Google launched last October, which is Go Stronger with Google. How can we, in fact, we committed last year to train close to 1 million developers in 2021, at the end of 2021, and we are really on track to meet that goal. Now what we are trying to do as well is take some of the other labs, the Founders Lab, the OKR Lab, and also provide them to the startup outside the program so we can help as many startups as possible. So again, if you have questions, please let us know. You can contact us on Twitter. My team will be posting the Twitter account, or via email or LinkedIn. We are always here to listen to you and to answer your question. So here are the 12 startups. We are going to hear from them shortly. You will hear their pitches to let you know about them. And we would encourage you, of course, to use their product as well. So with that, I'm going to welcome Lino, the Managing Director of the Middle East and North Africa, and a big supporter of the program. I remember when Lino joined, if I remember correctly, it's almost 5 years, 4.5 years, we had a meeting and we talked about, and the first thing we talked about, why we are not having an accelerator in the region. And Lino worked hard and with me, and we tried to bring it, and finally we brought it to help more startups in the region. Thank you, Lino, and welcome to the demo day.
Thank you. And yeah, it's 5 years, and you can tell just looking at the picture that you're presenting here, and with the COVID beer and everything. So first, thank you very much, Salim, for the introduction and for everyone to be here with us tonight. I would have really loved to host you here in our new office. We have a very nice place for events. But well, the reality for now is that we cannot yet do these things, but nothing will replace for now the face-to-face, but at least with technology, we can be as close as you can. I really want to talk 2 seconds about me. 5 years in the region, you could guess that I'm not from here. I'm Argentinian, which has a lot of similarities with here because it's an emerging market. And I'm going to build on that experience to talk to you about a few startups that I had the privilege and the luck to experience closely. In 1999, I was working. I started working for AOL, and I remember interacting with a very small company that had this good idea about selling online and having some presence. Well, the name of the company is Mercado Libre, and the valuation I was checking just before this presentation is currently $88 billion. And as I was in Argentina for a few years, and then I left and I came back, I saw many cycles of an organization like that. And I can tell you that they went through all the different cycles, the cycle in which they had the idea and they had a very good competitor, it was called the Remate at the time, that they ended up buying. They had times in which they knew they didn't have enough money to pay the salaries at the end of the month. Long nights of not sleeping, stressing, delaying taxes and other things until, they managed to make this a huge success and take this away, not just to Argentina, to all the rest of Latin America. Another example would be Globant, which is currently a $12 billion valuation. And they are a very different company. Mercado Libre is a B2C. Globant is B2B. They basically do programming, infrastructure for different companies around the globe, including doing services for Google. And I saw them growing as well. 5 founders in Argentina started. I saw the company growing. Started 4 years later in 2003, and they are now in many countries in the world. And then let's go to the region. And I met last year a person who talked to me about cloud kitchens. And the company is Kitopi. And if you are following the news, you know that they got over $400 million invested, led by SoftBank and the Vision Fund. But actually, that put the company over $1 billion in valuation. What I really wanted to make as a point here is a few things. First is that it is absolutely possible. Second, that more examples of these are coming to the region. And the third is that when you have one, then you have two, and then you have four. And the more you have, the quicker it is to make the new ones. So absolutely believe in yourselves. And of course, you could say, hey, you're talking about the successful examples. True. We all like to talk about that. But failing is part of the journey. And none of these examples that I give were not exempt of moments in which they thought they were going to fail, and others that they bought and acquired on the way that not necessarily they failed, but they are not the ones that ended up winning the space. Just is absolutely possible. And then I want to remind you of the commitment of Google. We as a company really care about startups and all this ecosystem. We want to invest even more and more heavily on the space. We believe as well into how much you are the fabric, regardless of the size. You could be small, you could be medium, and hopefully many of you in the audience will make to be the cut of being a large company at one point in time. You really make the fabric into what economic growth is for this region and how much this is going to empower and increase the benefits of technology to deliver jobs, to deliver opportunities for the people locally. Just this year, we mentored more than 200 startups. We supported more than 200 startups with these programs. And we launched, of course, this Accelerator program. As Salim said, I've been a fan of this for a long time. We had this launch before here in Latin America. And I'm so happy we're launching this. We launched it this year, and we're going to make it better in every iteration and make sure that you provide us with feedback to make it better. So, and the final and most important thing is congratulations. You made it to here. Demo day, you're coming to the end. You went through all the cycles. Hopefully, you're taking a lot of learnings for you. And also, you're getting a better, more expanded network of other entrepreneurs that, we will all help each other somehow. And I really wanted to wish you the best for you personally, for the companies you're working for, and really count on Google as a partner to make you succeed and help you in your way going forward. With this, thank you very much, and looking forward to hear some of your presentations.
Thank you, Lino, very much for wise words. And I remember you talked about networking, and I think this is one area where we improved versus class one. Class one, we had, I believe, one session. Right now, we had 4 sessions of networking, and we are planning to do monthly networking session, not just within the startup, but also with VCs. We reach out to 3-4 VCs that met with the startup, and we want to improve. And that's why we want feedback from everyone, from the startup, from the mentors, for everyone, so we can improve. Thank you again, Lino. Appreciate it.
We will host them in our office soon together, Salim.
Absolutely. It's an amazing office. I went last week for the first time, and it's like I can see when we are going to have meeting there, it's going to be amazing. Thank you, Lino.
Thank you.
So with that, we are going to go to the next step, and guess what? Let's start hearing from the startup. So the first one is going to be Sync. Let's hear from Sync.
Hi, I'm Sam, the co-founder of Sync, a SaaS company empowering everyday business owners with an easy-to-use, fair, and transparent tool that helps them manage their hourly workforce. 6 years ago, I too was a small business owner with the same problems our clients are facing today. I started using a company called T-Sheets, who were one of the first movers in our industry. But it just didn't really work for my company. It was too complicated for my guys to use, it was a bit expensive, and when I explored the other options on the market, there just wasn't anything that was going to do the job. So to cut a long story short, my now co-founder and I both quit our day jobs, went through some accelerators, raised some early seed capital, And that enabled us to build out the team that we have today. There's 10 of us working on it full time, and we now have one of the leading time and attendance solutions servicing more than 5,000 businesses across the globe and across a number of verticals. How it works is simple. Owners schedule their workforce, assign tasks and create jobs, while staff clock in from their own device and share their workforce data so that owners can quickly and easily generate detailed reports to be used for payroll, job costing and profitability analysis. It all runs on a web, mobile and tablet, sending data back to the office in real time. And if there is no signal, we simply store the information on the user's phone and sync it up once the connection can be established. So far, we've had over 250,000 people create sync accounts from 185 different countries. We've processed more than 5 million shifts, and on average, our business owners save more than 170 hours a year just in busy work alone. All we're doing, it's simple, all we're doing is just taking problems that always have and always will be issues for small business owners, things around timekeeping, scheduling of staff and communication, and we're just solving them with what people expect today, which is an app, and we're charging a small monthly fee to do it, and we're doing a better job than any other option on the market. We started off marketing purely to construction companies, but during this latest Google Accelerator, we've actually rebranded to more industry agnostic messaging because we have so many companies and so many verticals finding value in the software. I mean, if you just look at our top 3 verticals alone, there's 5 million different businesses, and there's currently a huge shift in demographics from your average business owner who's no longer looking for things like pen and paper and Excel to run their business. In the US alone, more than 10,000 people a day turn 65. And that's giving way to new tech-savvy entrepreneurs who are looking for solutions just like Sync to manage their businesses on. In the whole global SMB time and attendance SaaS market, there are only 15 or so serious players, including Sync. And as the market matures over the next decade, we believe that we are in a great position to achieve a huge outcome. We're acquiring customers for less than a quarter of LTV, and it costs us virtually nothing to service new clients. The whole thing is purely self-service, and on the rare occasions people do need to reach out, there's in-app chat available 24/7. All we need at this point is fuel for the marketing fire, and we feel the timing is right to raise our $2 million seed round at a $10 million valuation, just to get Sync in the hands of more people. If you would like to continue the conversation and dig into our financials, please reach out to me. Here are my details. Thank you so much.
Thank you to Sam and Team Sync. And look to this example, which is a startup that was created locally, but most of their business is in the US and UK. So this tells you about how much power we have, power of thinking, power of innovation. So sometimes it's not just about solving problems that are local, but also global problems. So with that, we go to another startup from Saudi Arabia, Sabah.
أهلا وسهلا جميعا, and welcome all. My name is Abdurrahman Al-Mudahim, and I'm the co-founder of Sabah. Now, we all know recruitment and talent acquisition is one of the toughest challenges any business could face. With that in mind, I'd like you to meet this guy. Now, this guy is working in recruitment, and he works in a retailer with 20 plus branches. And I want to give you a glimpse into this guy's life. This guy has to hire 15 to 30 employees every single week, and he has to do it continuously all year round. That is because retail and hospitality sectors are known for high turnover rates. Here in Saudi, the turnover rate is 70% within 3 to 6 months. That is why continuously and every week, this guy has to filter thousands of CVs, make hundreds of calls just to land that quality hire. This is the type of challenge that is facing retail and hospitality industries. And this is where Sabah comes in. We are a deep job platform that takes all the heavy lifting from our partners. We do the sourcing, vetting, matching, contracting, performance monitoring, and even payment. And we use technology to enable us to scale our operation. We're a tech-driven company, and we are an on-demand solution. Our partners who staff through Sabah, they have 96% on-time arrival and over 98% fulfillment rate on all of their shifts, and a magical 4-hour SLA from the time they request to the time the employee is in that location. And finally, a 4.2 out of 5 worker rating. And since we're introducing a new way of staffing, this new tool gives companies the ability to reduce their operational costs by up to 40%. Since we started mid last year, we have clocked in over 50,000 shifts with over 250 partners in Saudi, in a 35% month-over-month growth in our sales. And we're very lucky to have over 90,000 job seekers in our platform. And we're fortunate to work with some of the leading brands in these sectors, internationally and nationally. We are a team that has worked together in a digital agency where we grew our team and then we hired up to 80 people, growing our sales 2x year over year. Yet we've seen an amazing opportunity here, an opportunity that goes beyond Saudi, an opportunity that is valued over $270 billion globally in blue and gray collar staffing. And I'd like to invite you to join us and our amazing team through this awesome ride to revolutionize the blue and gray collar staffing in the MENA region, Pakistan and Turkey. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much to Sabah. It's really a needed area to focus on, especially when you look to the turnover. When you have 70%, 50% turnover, it's very difficult as a business to go and find people, qualified people. So having Sabah helping that area is really just amazing. So with that, we are going to go to our next startup, Huquqi. So Huquqi is led by and founded by 2 women. It's really, to be honest with you, I love the idea the first time I heard about it because, like, you know, as everyone, I meet with startup all the time, and the first thing they talked about is the difficulty of creating a startup following the laws. So Huquqi came, to be honest with you, in the right timing. So let's hear from them.
Huquqi, your gateway to the law. When we were registering our company, it was an incredibly complex process that ended up taking 3 weeks, and that was very strenuous. We discovered that this was a problem, a very big problem that entrepreneurs and business people were having, and we decided to put an end to it. Now, what are we offering? One platform that completely streamlines its legal service and makes our clients' lives easier. Now, our user journey. Our intelligent engine will provide insights and resources for our clients. They will have a legal inquiry section where they can ask a question and our AI mechanism will answer. And then they will have a process to track their own progress and to see what is and what is not happening within their legal service. Now, the founders. We are 3 founders with very diverse expertise. I myself am a lawyer. Mai, our technical co-founder, has had 15 years of experience. She's the former CTO of Paynas and 9 years of experience in legal software development. And Fatma has founded 3 companies. Now, market opportunity. Lawyers make $50 million every year in legal fees just for company incorporation. $7.2 billion is the addressable market is the market size for property registration. And then lawyers make $11 billion every year in legal fees just for cases that go to court. This makes Huquqi's share quite large, as we can see, $132 million per year. And that is just in Egypt. Once the expansion happens all across MENA, the numbers will be much higher. Now, why today? Because of the rise of entrepreneurship and hence the number of companies being incorporated and the support that is happening all around in the MENA region. And also because of the trend in the region. So Saudi Arabia is becoming a free zone, for example. Egypt is becoming ruthless with tracking the legal requirements of businesses, and because of the initiatives that both the Ministry of Investment and the Ministry of Justice are doing for this to happen and to be quick. Now, our value proposition is ease and speed. And while our competitors attempt to provide what Huquqi is providing, we believe it is the brand of our services that will give Huquqi an edge and make clients come to us instead of come to someone else. Now, we have launched in March. with our MVP. We also have had multiple users. Incorporation is our main service, and we actually did this pivot. We are currently in conversation with both the Ministry of Investment and the Ministry of Justice, and we are in partnership with 6 co-working spaces and accelerators. We've had 22 paid clients, and that is what happened so far. Now, we are currently not raising capital. What you can provide us that we believe will be very, very unique is access to your networks and partnerships, and help with creating our process and with creating our process and streamlining it to becoming the best service in the region. Thank you very much for your time. I hope to speak to you all soon. Thank you.
Thank you, Fatma, May, and Hala. I'm a big fan and supporter of this startup. So with that, we move to our second keynote guest, Abdurrahman Tiaiban, Google Cloud Managing Director. مرحبا, كيف الحال Abdurrahman? How are you?
Hello, Salim. All is well. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Great. First, I really want to thank you on behalf of the startup and on the Google Cloud support. The Google for Startup Accelerator program is one of the few programs that give up to $100,000 in Google Cloud free credit to the startup that participate. So it's really a lot of money that you are supporting us with that. So I really appreciate the support of Google Cloud. And I know you have a lot of great ideas and plans for Google Cloud in the region. So I'll let you talk to us about your experience and Google Cloud.
Thank you, Salim, for inviting me. And thanks again to Lino for an inspirational speech and welcoming the team. First of all, I really would like to, it's a great pleasure for me to join the Google for Startup Accelerator program in the MENA region. Before I start, I would like to share with you again a personal experience of myself. I started my career almost mid-90s as a startup. At that time, when technology has been difficult first to accelerate, at that time I remember we developed a small financial application on something called Informix. I think it already exists, but it wasn't as technology available today. For me, that was a very good learning curve. That really inspired me personally to develop my career within the startup, and I continued doing the business, I believe, for almost 7 years, and then sold it out, and then joined an IT player. So what does that tell me is really opportunities are huge. The only difference at that time, technology were limited. Nowadays, technology are quite significant and available for many people. With this, would like to give me again the opportunity to share with you what are we doing from Google Cloud point of view, our strategy for the region, where is it, and how we're gonna accelerate on that. As you may know, a couple of years ago, we have started in the region, and as we continue to evolve, we have defined a clear focus strategy that consists of 3 key pillars: the Googlers, our employees, the ecosystem, which startup is part of it, and last but not least is the product, which is one of the most innovative solutions in the technology. The Google for Startup team has designed, I believe, number of labs that enable the startups to address technology, product design, growth, and people to assist them to accelerate startups throughout their journey. My belief that the startup is a huge opportunity for many of the entrepreneurs or the potential leaders to address the huge potential of the market. From a Google Cloud point of view, we really pay attention to this, and we try to provide the best of Google's products, people, and technology to the MENA startup and founders across the region. We know that startups may not have the infrastructure nor the investment to do so. Hence, we can help them by providing Google Cloud credit to those who are eligible to it. And that's, I believe, something is a contribution to the startup. We see huge opportunities for startups in the region, as we have noticed a growing interest of international investors for startups from the MENA region, from UAE, Saudi, Egypt, everywhere within the region. Finally, I just wanted to share with you a statement that I personally and strongly believe in when it comes to doing business. Failure is really the catalyst for innovation, inspiration, and resilience. So if you fail, take it as an opportunity for another greater start. I'm confident that our region would continue to evolve and shine to come up with high potential startups similar to Swivel and many others. Good luck and all the best in your session. Thank you, Salim.
Thank you, Abdurrahman. I really appreciate your feedback and input. I think the startup in the region is just going. We see what we have seen in Saudi Arabia with the launch program. We see in Oman. We see also UAE. And so if you think about one advice you give to the startup, that are graduating from the program, what will that be advice be?
I think it's mainly you never give up if you fail. And if you become successful, you should not limit your ambition or your desired dreams. You should always aim high to achieve high. Many of the large technology companies, including Google, started by people. People is a key pillar of any opportunity. And luckily in the region, again, if you go to the demographics of the region, you find majority, more than 60% of the population are young, below 18 or below 20 years. And that gives you an indication that the opportunities are huge. And when you look at the major transformation that the government are going through, the earlier mindset of I would say, job satisfactory is to find a job. I think now that's not the only dimension or the aspiration that people should think of, because a graduate could immediately start his or her own. And that itself, if you keep this in mind, I believe we will be able to have more young entrepreneurs and more startups that they can shine, not in their countries nor the region, but probably globally.
Absolutely. I think these, when you look to the studies that talk about the curve of startup growth, like right now, it looks like everyone is talking about startup, and I think the next wave is probably going to be the unicorn. How many unicorn we're going to have and go, and at least from what I see, and you can comment on that, is really a lot of rules right now and laws are being changed to help startup, and Google is part of that change as well.
Absolutely. And I think, again, what Google provides, having the three components of the Googlers themselves, being able to provide whatever mentoring support given to the team, and the ecosystem, which is something I believe is a great opportunity, not only for our SIs, but also for the startups. And last but not least, the technology that Google Cloud provide that would enable the startup to find a base to start with. And I gave you the example of Swivel. Swivel is a great example. It started again in a very, very small scale, and now look, they're gone very, very high, and then they're in a very good position that could be easily replicated.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it, Abdurrahman, and see you soon in future occasion. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Pleasure of mine.
And with that, we go back to, we have a pitch of the startup, and then we have a special guest, Ahmed Gum'a, joining us, but we'll start with the three startup pitching. So one, more startup, Auto. Let's hear from Auto.
Let's talk about e-commerce. My name is Mohammed Razaz. I am the co-founder and the CEO of Auto. E-commerce has been growing rapidly in MENA region, specifically in GCC, where it is expected to hit $50 billion in market size by the year 2025. However, moving towards e-commerce is not easy. Most of the e-commerce businesses are suffering from the manual operations when it comes into shipping, starting from using multiple carriers' dashboards into downloading Excel sheets to analyze the performance of these shipping companies. On the other hand, 57% of the online consumers in GCC, they expect their orders to be delivered in less than 24 hours. Indeed, 7 out of 10 of the online shoppers, they abandon their shopping cart mainly for the high shipping fees and the late delivery times. And we're solving that with Auto. Auto provides an all-in-one shipping management software for e-commerce businesses and omni-channel retailers to help them ship, track, manage, and return their online orders from one single dashboard. So how does it work? In less than 5 minutes, the online retailers can connect its e-commerce platform and start shipping from the physical stores or warehouses with a pool of integrated shipping carriers in order to ship the right product to the right customer based on the customer location, stock availability, the delivery speed, the price, and many other factors that you can actually configure using our dashboards. With Auto, you can automate your operational processes, improve your delivery time, and get access to reduced shipping fees. And since automation is key, we have developed features that will help you enjoy an Amazon-like experience with focus on solving MENA's biggest challenges when it comes into the address verification, customer notification, and managing the performance of the integrated carriers. Talking about the carriers, we have integrated with more than 100 shipping carriers, making Auto today the largest integrator for shipping services in the whole MENA region. Also, we have integrated with more than 15 local and international platforms and sales channels in order to make it easy for you to manage everything in one place. And you don't need to worry about the inventory updates, as our solution also integrates with the leading ERP solutions to make sure that your inventory and sales reports are in sync. Our pricing model is very simple. You don't need to pay for any setup fees or integration fees. Our clients can either ship using their own rates or using our pre-negotiated rates. And you only pay per successfully delivered order. And this is exactly why our customers love us. We have more than 100 local and international brands using our solution to provide their customers with the faster, cheaper, and most efficient shipping service. And we have the right team to grow this business. My co-founder and I have more than 20 years of experience building and managing faster growing startups in technology, e-commerce, and logistics across MENA region. Auto was proudly born in Saudi Arabia, and we are currently offering our services in Saudi, UAE, Kuwait, Oman, Bahrain, Qatar, and Egypt. And we have a clear plan on how to scale our business beyond the region. So if you would like to be part of MENA's next global startup, talk to us now. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Fokan, Mohammed, and Auto. Amazing job. Let's go and hear from our next startup, Ijaro.
Hello, my name is Mohammed Khashoggi and I'm the founder and CEO of Ijaro. Today I want to talk to you about something very exciting, and we'll be redefining the car rental market very soon. So today's cars are parked almost 90% of the time. As a car owner, your vehicle depreciates, you incur maintenance costs and excessive insurance costs on your car. As a vehicle or a car renter, you have your typical long lines that you wait at the shops, you do the paperwork and manual process, you have excessive insurance pricing, and sometimes lack of availability and variety for the cars that you're looking at. But today we bring a solution called Ijaro. Ijaro is the first licensed peer-to-peer car sharing platform in Saudi Arabia. We connect local vehicle owners with individuals that are looking to rent cars anytime and any place. It makes it more convenient, hassle-free, and makes it a much faster platform in today's fast-paced market. So why choose Ijaro? As a vehicle owner, you will be entering a hassle-free sharing economy. You'll be having a secondary income from your depreciating asset. Also be covered completely with our newly released peer-to-peer insurance policy. That's the first of its kind in Saudi Arabia. And as a vehicle, as a car renter, you would have a truly seamless experience. You would have very competitive prices compared to your normal day-to-day car rental. Wider variety and selection of vehicles, as well as an easy payment solution and an easy booking that takes literally double 2 clicks and you're done. So we have a very easy to use platform, 5 steps to list a car, 2-3 steps to book a car, and off you go. And this brings a social impact to the sharing economy. So we would be generating an additional source of income for our Saudi citizens using existing vehicles on the road, so we won't be adding any more congestion. And also we'll be creating an economically sustainable sharing economy. Today's car rental market in Saudi is the biggest in the GCC. Almost 5 billion per annum, and looking to grow over the next 5 years by almost 10%. So also with our scalability opportunities, we're looking to potentially expand categorically and geographically within the GCC MENA. Our business model is very simple. We take 20% of each rental. Putting ourselves compared to everyone else in the market, we do have a couple of competitors that come out, but we are definitely the leading in the market. And in a very short period of time, we've been able to achieve a lot of great milestones, from the app development to the governmental integrations. We've built a great team, and today we are looking for our bridge pre-series A round. Thank you very much.
Thank you to Team Ijaro. And with that, we go to our next coach. Let's hear from.
Fitness is a personal challenge. All our bodies are different, but most of us want the same thing: to be stronger, healthier, and to live with confidence. MENA is no exception. Fitness is a $5.5 billion industry here. Over $3.5 billion are spent in gym memberships alone. So MENA wants to get fit. But hiring a personal trainer is so expensive, and going for internet resources or foreign fitness apps are inconvenient, inefficient, and not localized for us in the Middle East. Hi, my name is Asim. I am the CEO and co-founder at Coach, MENA's on-demand mobile fitness app that will help you feel good, get in shape in an affordable, fun, and effective way. What's unique about Coach is that our programs are fully automated and personalized to each user, which makes onboarding and unique scheduling 100% scalable. We are localized, using Arabic language, including local cuisines that we all love. We are diversified. Whether you're home or gym, we have multiple workout styles for you, plus nutrition and supplements. We are scalable. We can serve thousands of users with minimal operational changes. We make money through a recurring subscription fee, with users paying around $15 a month. And since we started in 2019, we've been able to grow on a compound monthly growth rate of 30%, reaching over $450,000 in revenues. We have an average rating of 4.7 from over 10,000 user reviews, and we just crossed 1 million workout routines completed by our users in Coach. We are 3 co-founders with a vast earned experience in the tech industry between product management, digital marketing, and software development, paired with 10 years of experience in fitness. Please join us in our journey to make the Middle East stronger and healthier. Thank you.
Thank you very much to the team coach, and to all of the people who are watching us, download the app, try it out, it's amazing. So with that, we are going to go to our next keynote guest, Ahmed Gum'a, Chairman and CEO of Egypt Venture. Ahlan, how are you?
الحمد لله تمام. الحمد لله تمام.
شكرا كثير على انك انضميت الينا اليوم. Thank you very much for joining us.
Excited to be here.
Absolutely, you're a veteran in the area, and when you talk about vendors and VCs and all of that, there's the people, the startup want to talk to you. So, and that's why we wanted you also to share with us what's happening in Egypt, advices for the startup. So I'll give you the floor.
Okay, great. Well, so what I'll do is I'll just give a quick brief about Egypt Ventures. Egypt Ventures is a state-owned venture capital fund designed to help expand and the ecosystem of tech startups. We are actually we actually invest in accelerators. We have investment in Flat 6 Labs. We have 100% ownership of Falak, and we have a 50-50 joint venture with EFG EV FinTech. We usually go into the direct investments through the Egypt Ventures itself. We have we go into the pre-series A transactions between $200,000 to $500,000, and it goes up to a maximum of $2 million at the Series A and above stage. We focus on Egyptian tech-based startups, and they need to be, of course, in Egypt, since this is a government-run operation. Going to the more exciting thing about what we can actually advise, I'll tell you what I see sometimes from entrepreneurs And so this is my advice to you. Try to come with investment teams that are anywhere between 3 and 5 people. Try not to come with an investment team of 1 person, because it puts us in a question of, the team breadth. I would always say, please do not ask for money that you will use in over 3 years. You need to be using money between a year and a year and a half on average. I'd always ask you to consider asking about valuations and the transactions around you. Ask entrepreneurs. I think there's lots of platform where you get to know. Before you talk to a VC, you want to know how much and the percentage, how much you should ask for in a percent. Of course, the how much is something you work out, but it's the valuation. You don't want to ask the VC to put a CNA, a confidentiality agreement, or an NDA, and you want to make sure that the founder always pitches their case. They need to say that they're full-time. Part-times are not very attractive for VCs. Okay, single targets. Don't put too many targets on the plate. We, as VCs, we kind of worry that you're not going to be focused on one thing. We like scalable models. So VCs like scalable models. Why? Because if they grow fast. So if you make a pitch, please don't make one that is not very scalable, because it puts a question mark onto the attractiveness of the return of such business models. We'd always ask you to look for at barriers to entry. This can be done through a unique solution, or if the business has high switching costs, or if it's actually had time to be an early market entry player. Also, I'd always ask you to you make sure that you have to, when you go to a VC, do not actually do not come with a small ownership for founders. If it's anywhere below this, the 70 or 60%, we worry, because in the next in just a couple of rounds, you will probably be diluted below a strong incentive, and that worries VCs. Last but not least, these are some of the ideas that I thought of. Make sure you don't come in with a family-owned business as your shareholders, because it makes the corporate governance harder to maneuver. These are some of the ideas that we in Egypt Ventures like to actually point out. I'm open for any questions.
So thank you very much, Ahmed. I appreciate the feedback. As we talked before, we really want to dive more into the discussion. So we are going to have a special session with all of our startups, so we can hear from you, because the reality is we also want to get close. The VCs and the startup and the accelerator, we want to build a forum where they can talk, because there's always misconception.
We're very excited to actually have this conversation with the Google General, and also we are very excited to see how we can actually do things together to expand and support the ecosystem.
Absolutely. Thank you again, Ahmed Guma, and see you soon, inshallah.
Inshallah. All right.
Okay. So with that, we are going to move to the last set of pitches. So we are bringing you Mytindi, which is coming all the way from Morocco. It's a very, very exciting startup led by two exciting entrepreneurs who also want to build something for the region and focus on the culture. So with that, let's go and hear and listen to Tindi.
Hello everyone, my name is Aida and I'm the co-founder of mytindi.com. I'm originally from Morocco, but I lived all my life between France and Canada. And when I was in Canada, I used to go back to Morocco and bring with me Moroccan craft from my place. And every time I would go back, people would ask me, Aida, where can we buy this? I really like it. And so I started looking online to find solution for my friend, and I quickly realized that there was absolutely nothing available online that was directly from the artisan that people could buy. And so we created MyTND with the goal of solving this problem and creating a marketplace for craft in the whole MENA region. What we do as MyTND is we are able to digitize the artisan's catalog and ensure that the product, the transaction between the seller and the artisan is safe and secure, and that the logistics are taken care of so that the product arrives to the customer wherever he is in the world. And as of now, we have shipped in 40 countries. In terms of market size, we're estimating that our market share is around 15 million people out of the 110 million MENA tourists and the MENA diaspora that is all over the world. And to be able to allow these people to buy, we created mytnd.com, where you can search by category or artisan. You simply select your product and you're able to buy it. Today we're already generating revenue for a little bit under 2 years, and our business model is based mainly on the commissions on sales. We also offer merchant services and more recently B2B. Our average commission is $75 per transaction. And of course, there's competition within our landscape. In Morocco, we have 2 local players that are Maïsouk and the Syrian Sheikh and Temporel that are a small player in the market, but we feel that it's more accurate to compare ourselves in terms of business model to Etsy and Amazon that want to achieve in the end the same thing. And why we are different from the competition today, small players mostly, is that we have already been able to digitize over 8,000 SKUs, and that we're shipping 70% of our order almost are delivered outside of Morocco, which enable us to have a net spend of only 2,500, which is 4% of the overall GMV that we're able to achieve. And in order to do that, of course, there's need to be a team behind it. And our team is comprised of Shakib and myself, the 2 co-founders. I'm in charge of marketing and logistics and have extensive experience in digital marketing. And Shakib is the co-founder. He's a finance guy, and he's in charge of finance and logistics. And we are also advised by our strategy advisor, Ashraf Ben Jaloun. And we are a team of 3 plus us 2. So that's it. Thank you very much. And I invite you to visit the website and reach us if you have any other question. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. If you have not tried MyTND, I really encourage you to try it and check some of the stuff that the artisan are really building. This is really, they have amazing product. With that, let's go to a different area. Zamet, let's hear from them.
Hi, this is Abdelkader with Zamet. We're very excited to be here. I want to tell you more about Zamet in these 3 minutes. So actually we started Zamet because Nader, my partner, and myself, we found a huge opportunity in the market, especially that we had the expertise since I worked for Vodafone leading digital for 9 years, and then I've worked with Shopify as an affiliate partner for 4 years. And also I started a couple of other companies like the leading co-working space in Egypt, Al Maqar, and another company called the Rihla. And Nader has been leading one of the biggest training entities in Egypt, Red Rock, and also he had a studio that generated more than 9 startups that we decided together to put all our effort and time in doing Zamet because we saw a huge opportunity in the market, and we saw that taking people from offline to online, building their websites and building their e-commerce has a huge potential. And since we started actually for the last year, we've had more than 4,000 signups. We've had more than 1,000 people went with their shops live. We're generating right now a monthly recurring revenue of over $20,000, and we've generated a GMV that crossed $1.6 million. But with the market expansion or with the market opportunity, we saw that the pain is that most of the e-commerce players depend solely on the education of the customer, that they will be able to build the website themselves, as well as following the model or the global model of taking transaction fees from the user, as well as only allowing the user to pay the subscription by a credit card with no real local integration or local focus for our country. So we made the Arabic integrated. We created a whole team just to help the customer get online and maybe even build a website for them at some point. And we made a support team with all the channels that you can reach them via phone or email or other things. And also we have had local integrations with our couriers, like more than 10 couriers integrated with us with 0% transaction fees and like value-added services to help the people create their websites from all over. So deep integration with payments, deep integration with shipping companies, access to online marketplaces, and a lot of features to build your website. We're targeting like the bottom of the pyramid, where we take people from offline to online, focused on fashion, retailers, and electronics and food and beverage. We've had some big, as you can see, some of the big clients from Egypt or some of the big brands, and we're having strong partnerships with Orange, Paymap, Vodafone, and CIB, who have access to over 4 million merchants who are actually selling directly to us. So that's about us, and we would like to hear if you have any more questions about us. Thank you.
Thank you to Team Zamet, and I love the fact that they pivot, like, you know, and they are increasing their reach. They look to the Arabic content, they look to the Arabic users and say, hey, let's expand in that area. Great move, in my opinion. So with that, let's go to another one of my favorites, startup, مسرعة. Let's hear from them.
Marhaba. This is Yamama from Jordan. I would like to share with you a short story about the solution that was created to solve a problem in the Arabic digital content. Arabic is the 4th language used on the internet, with more than 400 million users all around the world. However, statistics show that we Arabic users use English when we want to search for content. Why? Because we don't find the results we need in Arabic. Because Arabic content makes only 1% of the overall content in industry that makes billions of dollars as revenue. Sharing the same pain with those people, we decided to conduct in-depth research, interviews, and focus groups in different Arabic countries to find out the reason behind that shortage. And the results showed that content creators do not get rewarded in return for their writing. They don't have access to expert communities platform, and content seekers don't have access to verified content. With 15 years of experience in the market, with a huge passion towards Arabic, we decided to come together, find a solution that will shift the position of the Arabic content and bridge the gap between the demand and supply, and come up with a solution called مسرعة, the first Arabic content rewarding platform created for expert communities using blockchain technology. We offer a financial rewarding system, we offer a peer-reviewed verification process, and an expert community platform. It's pretty easy. You submit your content, it will be peer-reviewed by expert communities, and then be published, and you will get a reward in return. In a huge competitive landscape. So why مسرعة? Because we are a decentralized platform. We offer a peer review verification process. We create a space for expert communities to write and socialize with people, and we offer a financial rewarding system that will be translated into digital currency along with a moral rewarding system. We target content consumers, creators, and distributors, from individuals to institutions and governments. Our revenue model starts in the early stage with advertising and audio content, with a growth strategy starts from Jordan, expands to different countries with a high demand sectors like technology, health, and science. We started in 2019, but now we managed to launch our MVP, and we are ready to disrupt the Arabic digital content. If not now, when? And if you don't invest in مسرعة, in whom you will invest? Join our investments effort to be the first Arabic digital rewarding content unicorn. Contact me at yamama@مسرعة.com for further details.
Thank you, Yamama, and thank you to مسرعة. Definitely, we need more startups to focus on Arabic content. absolutely this is a much needed area. With that, we are going to go to our final pitch for today with Bankia.
71% of millennials would rather go to the dentist than go to a bank. And it's not just millennials, it's all tech-savvy people. It's you and me. I mean, we're used to Facebook, to Instagram. We click on a button, a car picks us up. And now you're asking us to go to a building, take a number, wait in line, talk to a human, and sign like 100 forms. It just doesn't work. The fact of the matter is that banks have failed to escort themselves into the digital age. But that failure has paved the way to a new breed of banks, the challenger bank. And they're mushrooming everywhere. In Europe, Revolut just added $25 billion in value during the pandemic. Hi, my name is Danny, and I'm the founder of Bankium. And at Bankium, we're building the challenger bank of this region. Bankium allows you to open a bank account and get a debit card on your phone in 3 minutes or less. But to build the bank of the future, we gotta go beyond speed and convenience. So we talked to 500 millennials and to figure out their pain points. And beside the fact that all millennials want to be rich and famous, the one thing that kept on coming up is that while all of them are tech savvy, they lack the simple basic concepts of finance. So we want to build Bankium to bridge that gap, to translate their tech savviness into financial fitness. And we do that by connecting the dots of their financial lives, wrapped in a platform that works like an operating system for your money. And I'll give you an example. We built this amazing AI-based platform that can matches you on the fly with discounts. But instead of giving you that discounts as cashbacks, we invest them for you in a high-growth portfolio so that you can go about your life shopping, buying stuff, eating out, while building your net worth. And we're calling it Wealthy. And that's just scratching the surface. With our open APIs, we're going to be curating and onboarding all those amazing fintech services so that you have access to them with one click of a button. Think Apple Store for your money. We are a 500 startup company, and in the past 18 months, we have acquired more than 400,000 users on our waitlist. We launched 2 months ago in the UAE, and we're adding more than 100 users every day, in line with our target to get to 100,000 users by end of year 1. We are MasterCard partners, and we have a license from the CBB to launch our services in all 6 GCC countries. Today, we're launching our spending card in all those countries, and we have a target to get to 5 million users in 5 years. My co-founder and I have 4 exits between us, and we have built this amazing team of ninjas that are united by our eagerness to make a dent in the world and to shake up that industry that has been pushing mediocre services for far too long. Currently, we are raising a $4 million seed round, and we're kind of oversubscribed. But if you feel strongly about joining us in our quest to build the bank of the future, please send us an email to unicorn@bankium.com. The future in the GCC is bright, and we at Bankium are banking on it.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think the way I look to the enthusiastic founder that we are seeing today and the plan and how we don't want just to be like 1 million, 2 million, we want to be a unicorn. And I applaud Musa and Danny for all their effort. And you're going to hear from many of those startups later on, in 30, 40 minutes, hopefully. And then with that, we are going to go to our next keynote speaker. Assalamu alaikum. How are you, Mr. Daisy Miani? Thank you very much for joining us today to talk to us about startup, about Morocco. We are really glad to have you with us. I think you are muted, so you can unmute. If you look to the bottom. Okay,
thank you, Salim. Thank you very much. It's okay now?
It's perfect. Go ahead.
Thank you. So, ladies and gentlemen, dear entrepreneurs, good evening and welcome to the Google Startup Accelerator. I am Drissi Miliani Mohammed, General Director at the Moroccan Agency for Digital Development. Our agency is a strategic public entity in charge of implementing the state's digital development strategy and promoting the use of digital tools to the citizens. Today, it's a great pleasure for me to be here and to take part of this amusing event, gathering stakeholders from different countries with the goal of reinforcing the startup ecosystem in the MENA region. Today, the world has changed, and with this change come an opportunity for digital sectors to grow even further. We noticed during the pandemic period a significant growth and acceleration for the sectors. The resulting development is equivalent to many years of development in normal circumstances. Multiple sectors adopt digital tools and transform their process to secure the continuity of the activity and the resilience of the economy. For example, governmental entities guaranteed the continuity of their service to citizens. Entrepreneurs from diverse sectors innovated in order to promote their products and develop their activities. And multiple startups emerged with new ideas and technologies in the markets. Under the guidance of His Majesty the King Mohammed VI, may God assist him, the new model of development of Morocco places entrepreneurship with young generation as a key pillar for Morocco's future growth. As a part of its mission, ADD is working with multiple partners to ensure the development of digital tools and the emergence of startup ecosystem. ADD deployed urgent measures to boost the startup ecosystem dynamic on the short term based on a vision that aims to build a strong, competitive and attractive ecosystem in Morocco by 2025. One of the initiatives launched by ADD is the platform Startup Hub Maroc.ma. The platform aims at federating the different actors around a portal that is being built with many value propositions for innovators and digital entrepreneurs in Morocco. Also, our ambition is to build a strong, competitive, and attractive startup ecosystem where entrepreneurs and startups have a quick access to competitiveness factors while taking advantage of the favorable environment to creativity and innovation, and where they can enjoy a very nice living environment. We have set the objective to make our youth the sprite head of our economy. We aim at turning our youth creative and innovative, and we are committed to support them master their destiny through creating the job of their dreams. The success of this national project relies on the commitment of all the shareholders to achieve our common objective to place Morocco among the best startup ecosystem in the region. In this context, I would like to take this opportunity to reiterate Morocco's sincere appreciation to Google as a key partner. Throughout its program, the Google Startup Accelerator, Google plays an important role in providing startups with the necessary support to get access to new markets. The second edition of this amusing program, so the participants of a Moroccan startup might indeed. We are looking forward to expanding the emergence of more success stories through this program and future partnership. I would like to congratulate the startup founders, women and men, that graduated from the second cohort of the Google Startup Accelerator in the MENA region, wishing them success and scalable growth of their projects. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much, Mr. Miliani. Really I love the commitment that we are seeing right now to the startup, because this is really the future, and to how we can support them, especially with like Startup Hub.ma and more of those initiatives. And we look forward to not have one startup from Morocco, but maybe 5 next cohort. I think there's a lot of people who are creating startup around the world who are from the region, and we want them to come back and create startup to solve local problem, but also to solve a global problem. So I really appreciate your input, and we look forward for more collaboration in the future. Thank you very much. So with that, we are going to move to our next stage. I'm going to welcome the 2 main program managers who have been driving the program really night and day and not sleeping. And we have with us, I welcome Mouj and Subhi. So Mouj, if you can introduce yourself, and then Subhi.
Sure, thank you, Salim. Hi, everyone. I'm Mouj Sadia, Program Manager at Google for Startups Accelerator, Middle East and North Africa. I'm glad to be here today to take this chance to celebrate the graduation of our Class 2 after the tremendous efforts the startups have put in for the day. Thank you.
Thank you, Mouj. Thank you, Salim. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. I'm Ahmed Subhi, Google for Startup Accelerator MENA Program Manager as well. And with Mouj, we will take you in a journey with our mentors, startup success manager, and startups. With that, we'll let Mouj take it from here.
Thank you, Subhi. So, as an entrepreneur myself, I've seen great value in having the right mentors to guide us entrepreneurs through our journey, and that is why our accelerator, Google for Startups Accelerator, had a huge focus on providing the best mentorship for our startups. We'd like to send our appreciation to thank all of the 100+ mentors that you see here on the slides who have supported our startups either with facilitation, training, mentorship hours, or even featuring our Open Wednesday sessions. Having over 150 mentorship sessions throughout the 3 months, we'd like to really send our thank you to them. Not to miss any names here, you can know more about them and who they are and their experience on our website. Now, to highlight their experience in mentoring and facilitating our workshops and labs, allow me to welcome 4 of our mentors today and facilitators, Maya, Najib, Mariam, and Dr. Nabil, to share their experience in their own words more about mentoring the startups. Hi, great to have you all here today. So first of all, Maya, thank you first for helping the startups with their financials. I'm sure this is a specific topic that they all appreciate help in. How was that experience for you, mentoring them?
Well, I've been lucky now to mentor in the last 2 cohorts. And I really, really enjoy it. I find that the cohorts are very diverse. They're diverse in the countries they come from, in the industries they come from, and in the different stages. So they keep me very much on my toes with their requests, with their challenges, with their asks, and I've enjoyed it very much.
Glad that you felt that way. I hope those were challenges that you enjoyed solving for them.
Always.
It's great to hear from your experience and your perspective of doing so. And Najib, what was the best part of having you meet and mentor most of our startups? I mean, I thought as far as we know right now, you've met most of the Class 2 startups. How was that for you?
Thank you so much for inviting me to be part of this program. I'm both grateful and humbled to see the amount of talent that I had the opportunity to discuss and chat with during this cohort. I think what touched me the most is how much almost the founders and the teams care about the user experience. They spend a lot of time not only to build a successful company or a business, but care deeply about solving real issues in the market, and as well as while they're doing so, building an amazing product experience for those users, top-notch and global quality skills. This is something that I commend them on doing so, and I think it's part of a winning formula for any successful digital product as well.
And I think that's why the startups have been asking to meet you even more than once or so. Thank you for your support there, and we want to recognize the great effort you put, and Mariam as well, to help these startups in the areas of growth and marketing. Mariam, how was your experience meeting the startups? And you've also facilitated a session for them. You can give us the good and the bad.
Honestly, it's very humbling to see what everyone's been working on, the companies and ideas they've kind of brought to life, and the challenges that they're facing. I think every single startup I met with kept me on my toes, and for some even that I met with twice, I felt like every time I was in a call, I would rack my brain trying to figure out how I could help the startup, or rack my brain on the side and come back to them. Super rewarding experience. I can't wait to see what they all do, especially the ones I mentored. And I was also surprised, like pleasantly surprised at how engaged everyone was in the session. I think in this session, even more so than the last one I gave in the last edition for Google for Startups. So yeah, no, it was good.
Well, we're glad they're keeping you all so busy and excited in solving their challenges. We do have a very engaged class this cohort. Dr. Nabil, what would you say to our future, let's say, startups, or a piece of advice you'd like to put forward for them?
Well, first of all, I'd like to thank you for inviting me to this initiative and this celebration. I had the privilege to be mentor of this initiative. I enjoyed it immensely. I had the opportunity to collaborate closely with many startups in the region. Really, what impressed me most is those innovative ideas that came with the cutting edge technology they were using in the cloud, advances in machine learning and artificial intelligence. They try to solve really complex problems and business challenges that you would think something that enterprise level companies would think of, and they come up with these ideas. So I was really excited about it, and I enjoyed it immensely in that. And advices that I would give for future startup, maybe first of all, be proud of your idea, believe in it, believe in your ideas, to put them into practice, and leverage these opportunities. These opportunities don't come every day. So the Google Startup Accelerator program is an opportunity not to be missed, and being part of it is an achievement in itself, let alone to finish all the program and kind of celebrate your success here. And most importantly, share your success afterwards. I'm sure you've been inspired by other startups, so share your success to inspire others as well.
Thank you, Dr. Nabil. I'm really glad to have you all here. It's always good to be on the other side, helping the startups and seeing how they would grow and see where they're going next. Huge thank you again for all of you and the mentors that we could not have live today. We'd like to thank you all for your effort and dedication, the contribution that you have had given us throughout the program of the 3 months. Thank you. From here, I'd like to hand it over to Subhi to welcome our next panel of startups coming in. Subhi, you're on mute.
So thank you, Muruj, and thanks for all 100+ mentors we had. Actually, they have been working so hard with our 12 startup last 3 months. And as you know, like the startup is the main element within the program or any accelerator. And we had like really amazing and brilliant 12 startup, this cohort. We worked with all of them. And right now we will have 6 founders from 6 different startups will join us to tell us their experience. So I think we have Sam from Sync, Danny from Bankium, Hala from Huquuqi, Abdurrahman from Sabbar, and Muhammad from Otto, Aida from Maitindi. And I can see Aida is coming with Shakib, her co-founder as well. Hello, Shakib. So I will go ahead. Yeah, I will go ahead and start with maybe with Danny, because I know Danny have really amazing story. I really liked it. So Danny, I will start with your intern who are taking the CEO like seat right now. Haura, tell us about Haura's story before we go ahead and start.
So Hafra is an intern, and we were looking for a growth hacker, and I posted it on LinkedIn. And there's this candidate that sends me their application, and she's saying that, and it's head of growth. So she was saying that she has no experience, she has doesn't know what growth is, but she's a fast learner and she wants to take a stab at that position. You know, when you post on LinkedIn, you get a lot of applications. So, but she had a certain thing to her. So I said, you know what? I want to see who's behind this application. And I asked her for an interview. And there's this little girl who has zero experience, but who did the research about growth and who's talking with the confidence of Bill Clinton, you know, and she's doing this and that. And I said, you know what, Havra, we don't have a position for you, but I'm going to open one for you. You're going to be our intern, and I'm going to train you to manage the company one day. Are you in? And she said she's in, and she's kind of managing the company now.
Yeah, I saw it myself. To be honest, I was really surprised. Yeah, I was surprised. Like when first time you introduced Haura, I was like, what is he's talking about? Like Haura is his intern. He's telling us like she will take the CEO position, and like and she was like really working really amazing, connecting the mentor with the startup team members and like handling everything. I was really surprised. So thank you, Danny, for like you supporting the talent and investing for those like kind of people who are really talented and giving them the opportunity. With that, I will let you
know that Havra's listening now, and she's kind of blushing, but she's worth every minute I've spent teaching her how to manage a company.
Yeah, I can see.
Outdoes
yeah,
herself.
Thank you, Haura, for the amazing experience you gave us and the lessons I learned. To be honest, like just to apply for the position, no matter how much experience you have. So I wanted also to bring this story to everyone. To be honest, it wasn't planned, but I really liked the Haura story when I did interact with her during the program. Also, Danny, can you share with us your experience and advice for your fellow founders across the region, how they can benefit from the program, and like why at the beginning, I know you applied for the program twice, and like, you know, you kept applying and you got one of our labs, then you got motivated more, and then you joined. So tell us your experience and your advice for other founders across the region.
You had to bring that up, huh? That you applied twice. Okay, so we applied twice. We didn't get the first time, and I got pissed off. So, but there was like an added thing on the email, but you qualify for a workshop. So I said, I'm gonna apply for the workshop. And Rayan was leading that workshop. It was a product design. It was like a 5-hour thing, and I told Musa, my co-founder, who's refusing to show up. Hello, everyone. I told him I want to get in next time, no matter what happens. And we applied the second time, and we got in, and we were super excited. What I got from the like, I look at the program. First of all, you get what you take off the program. So if you come with the attitude that I'm gonna milk it, you'll get a lot of value, because you have access to so many mentors, and those who challenge you, and those who like the idea, and the fact that we have Google as a partner is a lifetime thing. So we cherish that experience. What I would change is, actually I wouldn't change, but what I would do is put 3 full-time people following all the startups, 1 for growth, and that's on daily basis, 1 for product, and 1 for capital raising. And this might be on a weekly basis. And their role is to, for the growth, is to create a framework for growth and track it every day, so it keeps us all honest. For product is to figure out the dashboard and the product roadmap for us, and somebody who would help us in raising capital, because I think that the Google brand name, the Google connections are what we need to open doors for VCs. So these are this is my feedback, but overall it's what you make of it, and I think we kind of milked it, no, Subhi?
Yes.
Like we had minimum two mentors per day.
Yeah, I can confess it. Also, Danny, like, you know, I learned a lot from Bankium. I'm really proud, like, I had, like, working with you. You guys are amazing and, like, teaching me a lot on the personal level, like, you know, insisting to have something and you get it by the end of the day. It is just like kind of the values I learned it from, like, Bankium, and I can't say it explicitly. So thank you for sharing your experience. With that, I will move to Abdulrahman. Abdulrahman, can you tell us a bit about your experience within the program? How like we helped you, how the mentors like helped support you guys doing amazing thing in Saudi Arabia and expanding in the MENA region soon. So tell us like your experience within the program.
Thank you, Ahmed, and thank you, Muruj, Salim, and everyone behind the scenes in creating this amazing accelerator, I gotta say. I guess the first thing I do remember, it's when I saw the list of mentors that we suddenly had access to, that the mass diversity of the knowledge that we suddenly have access just because we got enrolled in this program. We were super lucky and fortunate, to be honest. I'm talking about, you know, everything from engineering, product, marketing, sales, fundraising, and operations, and so much more. And that in itself was it was an aha moment to say, like, okay, this is an amazing accelerator. This is going to be a beautiful journey. And the other thing that I really appreciate about this experience is just like Danny with Hawra, like involving her in the learning journey. To us, it's really important that everyone in the team gets to learn, gets to grow, and your flexibility to allow us to bring our own team into the different mentorship sessions, the different direct one-to-one mentorship, or the sessions. This really helped everyone in the team to learn so much. We got to involve everyone into this journey. It wasn't just about the founders. It was about everyone getting there, everyone getting to learn. And to us, that's an amazing صراحة experience, and I thank you so much for it. Lastly, I just wanted to say, in terms of the SSM, I just want to focus on the SSM bit, the Startup Success Manager. I remember Salim said he has an amazing algorithm in his head to match mentors with specific startup to achieve maximum value. And you hear something like that, you're like, okay, sure, you have an algorithm, that's fun. But honestly, the SSM we got assigned, and from everyone I hear the SSMs, the assignment was just amazing. I gotta give a massive shout out to Jad, our SSM, and that who helped us a lot, who got really into the nitty gritty of our business and our business model. And it was honestly an amazing experience being with him. We got to know him on a personal level, on a professional level, and he helped us a lot in this business. Yeah, the experience has been seriously amazing. And the fact that it was online, but behind pulling off an accelerator, I mean, physically it's hard, but online I can only imagine. I gotta say, you guys made it seamless. It was beautiful, it was flexible, and we really got everything we asked for and so much more. So yeah, massive kudos to everyone involved, and I highly recommend everyone to apply to accelerators like these. Like the fact that you get to meet these amazing founders and these amazing mentors and have this access to wealth of knowledge, that in itself is just it's beyond amazing. And I thank you so much for that.
Thank you, Abdurrahman. And like I will let you know, like.
Sorry, Subhi, before you move on, I forgot to thank Jack, our SSM. He was amazing, he was instrumental, and we love you, Jack.
Love you, Jack, and we're going to keep on knocking on your doors, guys.
Yeah,
Thank you,
it's not a 3-month partnership.
Yeah, so I will briefly tell people who is the SSM or what is the SSM standing for. It's standing for Startup Success Manager. And this person is a volunteer coming from Google, and he is joining the startup to help them, support them, and advocate the startup within Google. So we have around 10 people from Google joined each startup to drive them through the 3 months program. So Jad was for support, and like Jack's for Bankium, and we have each startup will tell us like their startup success manager, and we will definitely meet a couple of them in the next session as well. So thank you, Abdurrahman, for sharing your experience, and thank you for like being an amazing startup and brilliant startup and teaching us a lot during the program. With that, I will move to Sam. And I know, Sam, you had like a really amazing startup success manager who have been investing a lot of time meeting with you, and I couldn't catch up like the number of meetings you guys meet. So can you like take like a couple of minutes, tell us your experience and like the benefits from the program and your advice for other founders in the region as well.
Yeah, so our success manager Andre was amazing. It was just so good to have. It really felt like Google was our partner. Now, you have to remember we came from such different backgrounds. We were, my co-founder was a mechanical engineer. I was working in construction, and we've taught ourselves how to do this, and like a lot of that has been sort of built off Google's infrastructure. So like from the early days, deciding to build everything on Firebase and taking advantage of just so many resources that were available to us, like cloud credits in the early days to cover our costs, through to things like the Play Store Academy. It's all just been. We've always felt that Google has been, like our number one partner. I mean, everything, like even our go-to-market strategy is all based around Google, because we see that's how we can reach as many people as possible. And yeah, it's just it's just been great to get into the accelerator and have that validation from Google, and just having like everyone's been saying, the access to so many mentors is just amazing. Like the amount of time that people are, sometimes you feel very guilty. You just can't believe these people are giving up all this time, for your success. And I've never experienced anything like it. It's been one of the highlights of our sort of 5-year journey so far. And if my co-founder was here, he'd reiterate that.
Great. Thank you, Sam, for sharing that. We really had a great few months with all of you here, and good memories, I hope. Only good ones. We've made so many of them. And would you, let's say Aida in specific, would you like to share any moments that you had made throughout the program?
Hi, everyone. Well, first of all, I'm kind of sad that it's the end of it. Like I got used to meeting you all every week, and I think Shakib too. And it's a bit bittersweet, I'd say. Like we're graduating, but still, like we wish it was longer. yeah, so like there was so many like great moments. I think what I remember the most is first, like when I received my admission, we were like, oh my God, like we got accepted into Google. It was something that was like very special and that was tangible, you know. And then I think, like Abdul Rahman said, like watching the list of the mentors, I was like, oh my God, like we need to meet them all, you know, like there's no time like to pick, like let's just like go for it. Book as many as we can and just ask questions, meet and connect. And I think it's definitely what I got from it is like make the most of everything that you receive and don't hesitate to ask, you know, like as startups, I think we have to go get things, and that's also the mindset. So thank you very much to all of you and Marouj, Ahmed, and all our startups. Like I think this experience has been like very good.
Well, we're glad you had that experience and you felt that way. We were glad to have you and Shakib in the program. Having this proactive, let's say, team was really great to have during the program. It was great to see your efforts and taking advantage of it as much as possible. Well, Mohammed, you've had amazing progress throughout the program, and Otto is growing very fast. How was your experience in the program? How did you feel the program added to your progress, given that you're now looking at different markets, scaling and all that?
Definitely. So first of all, thank you. Thank you, Google, for this. We have learned a lot from you guys, from the sessions that we had, from our SSM Mahdi, who has supported us big time. He was like the right guy to talk to, especially when you are scaling, and definitely as a tech company and as a SaaS company. Scaling is not only about resources, but also about the infrastructure. And we're very glad that we have, even now, we are relying on Google infrastructure to scale our operations, which was absolutely helpful. And we believe that we just talked to Google and we got engaged in this program on the right time to scale in the region. I think the way how we dealt with this accelerator program, it was like more of our like third co-founder. So we are like two co-founders in the business, and you usually want to talk to more people to tell them about your challenges, and that's something we really appreciated in the program. And during the weekly sessions that we had with our SSM. It was basically a very safe area where we can go and share transparently what are the challenges that we are facing. And this was very important. We did not feel that we would be judged or we would be basically sharing stuff that are private or we should not share. It was a very safe place for us as founders to go and share transparently what are the challenges that we are going through. And even to have these little moments to celebrate some exclusive news and some exclusive ideas that we wanted to share with the people. And I still remember all of these meetings and celebrations that we had during our calls. The mentorship was absolutely definitely like one of the best parts of this program. We had the chance to talk to amazing people within Google and outside Google who have helped us a lot to overcome some of the biggest challenges that we had. And the beauty about these sessions as well is that it's a place where you can just go and discuss with these mentors. You do not expect them, by the way, to come up with answers, yeah, but they would be coming with the right questions to ask you, and then they will let you lead or find out the way to answer these questions. So definitely, it's an experience that we would always refer to in our journey in Otto. And it's definitely one of the key milestones that we went through this year.
Well, we can't wait to see Otto scale and around the region and taking the e-commerce to a new level. Good thing about mentors, you still have access to them even after the program. So we'll still have that. Last but not least, we want to take Hala. حقوقي had a few turns at the beginning of the program and a pivot as well. How do you see حقوقي between the start of the program and once you joined and today? Where do you see that?
So I think there are multiple things that Google has been able to provide us and that you guys have been able to provide us that have really given a different turn to حقوقي. So starting this program, we were a platform for any legal service you needed as a startup and any legal service you needed in terms of property registration in Egypt. Now what we do is we streamline 2 services, which is company registration and trademark registration, and that is it. And within that, we were able to get the data and get the right services and the right partners we need to get that sorted. So definitely this refinement happened because of Google, happened because of conversation we had with mentors and with you guys. And we has actually had 2 huge things happen for us that have been very influenced by Google. We were actually able to meet with the Ministry of Investment in Egypt, GAFI, because of Google, and that will completely change our product and give us a value proposition that is different from any law firm, which is we'll be able to streamline the entire service, entire company corporation in a way that's much quicker than anyone else in the market. So this has been huge. And then the same goes with the Ministry of Justice. We having had those 2 policy, those 2 very big entities, focus on us and give us their resources and give us their time has been phenomenal. And I think there's also one thing I'd really like to mention that I think we haven't really talked about. The workshops that have been provided by Google have been amazing. And also I really, really want to thank our SSM, Chris, who went above and beyond to help us to get, he even got us a lawyer at some point. It's honestly, it's awesome. Thank you so much, Chris. Thank you for your time. And thank you so much, Sobhi. Thank you so much, Muruj. I know we're definitely one of the smaller companies on the cohort. So thank you so much for still giving us your attention and for, still caring about us. And with those 2 partnerships, we hope to take Egypt by storm and help you guys all legally.
Thank you, Hala. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. And as Muruj mentioned, we will keep helping and supporting you even after the program. As I mentioned before, we are 1 mail away, so feel free to reach out to us anytime. Ping us on Slack. We still have Slack. So whenever you need help, support, mentors, you can still access them, and you can still access us as well and use us as well. With that, I will move to our next speaker, Kevin. So Kevin is our accelerator lead, and he have been supporting the program since day 1. So Kevin, welcome to our demo day and graduation, and thank you for joining and accepting our invitation. And I know you have been supporting the MENA program since day 1, and you have been giving a lot of efforts and attention to the program and doing amazing support to us and the whole team. With that, I will let you introduce yourself and tell us about your speech today.
Thanks, Ahmed. It's great to be here with you all. I think when we were first talking about this accelerator, and this is obviously the 2nd class that we've had for Google for Startups Accelerator in the Middle East and North Africa, Ahmed, Salim, and myself and other Google teams and individuals were talking about just the power of working with the best startups and the best founders who had some of the most audacious goals for influencing and impacting business in the Middle East and North Africa and globally. And I think this class is such a strong testament to that initial enthusiasm that exists today, and I think has grown across the company and with the venture capitalists we talk to and the ecosystem leaders. And it's such a thrill, and it's humbling to be able to work with 12 startups as diverse as this class is, covering shipping and staffing and food security and fintech and the sharing economy. It's really a thrill to support you. And I loved what Ahmed was saying right before I started talking about the continued support that Google for Startups affords every single startup in this class and in our others around the world. You all may know, but we have 17 accelerators in places as far-flung as Tokyo to Sao Paulo, to Dubai, to London, to Toronto. And we get to work with some of the best startups around the world at the earliest stages, seed and Series A. And today, being demo day, you graduate from this class, but you don't necessarily have to leave this Google network, and you get to rely on and benefit from being connected to these startups all over the world that are doing some of the greatest things for their ecosystems and growing globally. Just some stats on what that looks like. We have almost 700 startups that have participated in our accelerators around the world, like I said, at seed and Series A stages. Post-graduation, those startups have gone on to raise $15.4 billion US. They now employ almost 40,000 individuals, and 97% of those startups are still viable businesses, which, as I'm sure you all know, in an industry where 75+% of startups fail, that's no small feat to say that 97% of these businesses are still viable and still thriving. We almost, as of this month, we have just under 15 unicorns in the portfolio. And that's a tremendous opportunity as you all look to continue to grow your businesses, rely on other founders, get back involved with this network, and participate as mentors for the startups that are going to come after you. Google's in this business because we believe in supporting ecosystems. I think it's the thing that gets all of us out of bed in the morning, is getting to work with some of the smartest founders working on some of the most pressing challenges for their industries. I don't want to take too much more time, but I just want to say how inspired we are about the opportunity to work with you. Thank you for your trust and partnership. We know that startups are the net new job creators. They drive economic change in markets. They challenge and change how people think and how people approach business opportunities. And we're really thrilled to see you all succeed well beyond the graduation today. So thank you very much. Ahmed, back to you.
I think Ahmed Sobhi is muted, so Kevin, thank you very much.
Thanks,
and I'm going to give it to Sobhi to take us to the last session. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you, Kevin, and thanks for the whole global team behind this amazing program. I'm really enjoying working with smart startup founders all across the region. And right now we will move to our main key element of success for the Accelerator program and for startups as well. We have what we call in Google Accelerator Startup Success Manager. Those startup success managers are our volunteers from Google. They are joining the program to support and drive the startup through the 3 months program. And we have actually 10 Googlers plus me and Muruj, and you know me and Muruj. So we have Chris, who did amazing work with Huquqi. We have Fatma, who did amazing work with MyTindi. We have Atiyah, who worked with Zamet, and they really did amazing support to all the startups. Also, we have Majdi, who worked with Mawsu'a. We have Andri, who will be with us today, who worked with Sync. And we have Jax, who worked with Bankium. And we have Jad, who worked with Sabbar. And we have Taban, who worked with Ijaru. Muruj worked with Huquqi, and myself worked with the coach. Mahdi worked with Otto, and William worked with Fresh Source. So thanks for all the startup success manager, the amazing people who been driving the startups all over the 3 months program, and part of them have been supporting the first cohort as well. So thanks for every one of them. And right now we have Chris, Mahdi, and Andri. Hello, hi Mahdi, hi Chris.
Hi Ahmed, thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you for joining us today and accepting our invitation. Chris, I know you had a really amazing experience with Huquqi, given like the fact Hala just mentioned you helped them to the extent. So can you like tell us quickly your experience and what happened with Huquqi, and is it like kind of complicated process to balance between volunteering, supporting the startup, as well helping working on your daily role within Google?
Yes, thanks. It was a bit of a challenge, I think, in the beginning, because prior to that, I have been a part of that program as a mentor. So usually with a really specific use case and, well, nearly like a one-off session. So now switching to being a startup success manager and really be a dedicated point of contact for one startup was something to get the hang of at the beginning. And also, as I didn't know Huquqi first, so it took, I think, me a couple of time at the beginning to get to know Hala and my team. But it was really nice and fantastic to see how our relationship built throughout this program and how we could achieve things with them, how we could have more interactions in the sessions. I think overall it had a really positive impact on their business and their growth.
Amazing. Thank you, Chris, for that. Mahdi, I know you worked with Otto and you guys did amazing. I saw a lot of amazing interaction and support going in and out. Can you tell us a bit about your experience with Otto and your experience within the program as well?
Thank you so much, Ahmed, for the introduction. Salim, Ahmed, and Muruj, the team, reached out to me to ask if I could contribute and become a startup success manager. I started off just like Chris as a mentor in the first class. It was really good to kind of mentor on Google Cloud topics, and now to kind of help out Otto. It was really amazing to speak to the team, both Mohammed, Furqan, and the rest of the amazing Otto team. I think it was a great opportunity because for me and for the rest of the SSMs here, we have a kind of expertise and we work with Google's largest clients and customers, etc. So being able to give back to the MENA region, it's definitely amazing. It's definitely great to kind of to help out and give back, and especially for me. So really looking forward to the next class. And thank you so much, Ahmed, Salim, and Muruj for setting up this framework as well. Lastly, in regards to Otto, they've been amazing. I just want to look forward to seeing them on the news soon, or on Forbes or something like that. But finally, one piece of advice is for the rest of the startups here is the world is constantly changing, and I'm constantly seeing user expectations and demands, just shoot out the roof. And there's specific audiences out there with specific problem statements that other big players out there can't solve and probably don't have the bandwidth or time to solve. So it's great to see innovation, and innovation always contributes to the competition, and competition, as we know, just improves society as a whole. So thank you so much, and good luck to the startups.
Thank you. Thanks so much, Mahdi, and thank you also, Chris. Andre, I know you have a really, really good experience. You're one of the people who work it really, really hard with Sync. You guys did amazing. Can you tell us what makes you interested to work more with Sync? I can see we had kind of weekly meeting, and you guys scheduled 3 and 4 and 5, and you went to the extent. So please share with us your experience and why you were really interested to help and support them.
Yeah, thank you so much, Ahmed, Salim, for inviting me to the program. Yeah, as you said, I think it's also up to the person, to the mentor, to decide as to how much input you'd be giving to the startup, and that's the great thing about the flexibility of the program. So yeah, but Sync, it was great from the start, from defining the OKRs in the beginning, and then pushing them forward and reaching them. Eventually, what I would say was even though the time commitment was, I was trying to give more to the team. It was it was very, very interesting to work in the startup environment, go a bit deeper into the problems they're stating. And as Mehdi mentioned, we're working with large customers and with large enterprises, and sometimes you want to just go a bit deeper into day-to-day work. So yeah, it was great to experience that and feel that startup spirit, that pushes you forward. One advice I would also give to the future mentors is I think really try to not to overpromise in the beginning, because you have this enjoyment inside, and really critically assess before committing to any projects or support that you'll be providing, because it's quite easy to get a bit lost maybe in the future. But yeah, overall an amazing experience. I hope to be in touch with Sync going forward, and the whole class. So thank you so much for inviting me. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Andre. Thank you, Mahdi. Thank you, Chris. I know, guys, you have been also investing a lot of time mentoring and supporting the startup outside the startup success manager role. You have been acting as a mentors as well in cloud, in analytics, and different areas. So thank you, and we really glad you have been part of the success of this program. And thank us for all other 7 startup success manager who helped us to make it to this stage. With that, we will move to our team and the final stage with questions. So feel free to drop any question you have in the messaging or comment box in YouTube, and we will be happy to answer it. As well, we will also be happy to give you more insights and information about what comes next.
So thank you, Subhi. Thank you, Moj. I think we are going to look to a couple of questions. But before we go there, I just want to thank a few people. I mean, of course, the mentors, the speaker, the facilitator, the SSM, but also we have a team that has been helping us in the background, the MENA Digital Dev team with Noor and Shema and Marwa. I also want to thank, usually we have always those 2 people who have been there, since ever, to be honest with you, Martin and Marwa, Martin from the Palestinian Government and Affairs and Marwa from the PR team, who has been always doing an amazing job, and also Kevin and Maha, who helped us with bringing multiple interesting people. So I want to thank all of them. And if there's no question, let me check if there's a question. I think probably I'm going to mention the first thing, which is the application is going to open. If you go to g.co Accelerator MENA, class 3 is open. You have 2 weeks to apply and to be a part of the family. And even if you don't get into the Accelerator, we will try our best to offer you one of our labs, the design thinking, the OKR. So I'm looking to Moj because she's going to be working hard to scale those labs. We are like a startup. We have also goals that we need to scale our product and provide new product on the VC side, on the lab side as well. So maybe my last question for both Subhi and Moj, if you give me one good thing you remember about this class, and then one thing that you'll say next time I'm going to change it.
Okay. Okay. So first of all, I'd like to thank everyone here for tuning in, taking the time to tune in on our demo day. It was a great pleasure from my side being part of managing and delivering the program. I mean, it's a shame seeing it come to an end. But we will still have our startups and alumni with continuous support throughout the year, like you said, different labs and different engagements and sessions as well. The good thing. Okay, so there are a lot of good things out of the program, to be fair. Having to work with so many amazing people, be it mentors, facilitators, Google SSMs, Googlers themselves, guest speakers that we had throughout the weeks, the entrepreneurs. I mean, I think that's the main focus there. Each startup was unique in its way, with the founders and their teams, challenges and problems that they're trying to solve. It's truly incredible to feel that we're part of that journey and going forward from there.
Okay.
So Moj is skipping the bad part. She's just saying.
Yeah. Well, the bad part, nothing so far. None that I can think of right now.
Okay, so go ahead.
Okay, so I will go a bit emotional. I have a new families, new friends. I have a lot of people coming out of the program. With each cohort, we have been working together day and night for 3 months. So each day you will have new people coming to your life, and you are interacting with new people, teaching you something new, teaching you something different. And the good part as well, it is not some kind of interesting part about the position of helping the startup or managing the program, is each day you are waking up and you have different challenging coming from different startup, and you keep working to help them and supporting them to solve and help this challenge and this problem and connecting them with the right people. So you have something different each single day to do. So this is the really interesting and amazing part for me, or memory, or like you can say the highlighted part from the accelerator or overall. And the amazing part for this cohort especially, we have really engaged and interactive startups, and I'm really thankful for all of them. And we had really veteran founders and people who have tons of experience, either startups or startup success manager, who teach me a lot. I think the bad part, what we can say, is to scale the program, the other parts of the program, to support more of the ecosystem. I know we are a bit limited in resources as a team, but we will work hard to expand the programs like Founders Lab and Growth Lab, and this is the right value, or the value we can bring to the region. It is not about having the accelerator; it's about the content itself, who is preparing the startup for the pipeline, being unicorn, as Mr. Ahmed mentioned, or other people mentioned, and as Kevin mentioned, we have 15 unicorn company, and we are supporting 700 startup, and we have 17 accelerator. But the good part, the bad part, we need to scale the labs independently, and I know Muruj is working on this, and we are recruiting more people to help and support in this.
Thank you, Sophie. Really, like, I mean, at the end, to be honest with you, I think one advice I give it always is really don't underestimate the opportunity, and always ask. Danny mentioned that, they took a chance on a workshop, and that workshop is the one who made them to the class. But that's their decision. Sometimes you have to make a decision to take a chance and go for something. So I advise all the startup there to apply and make a case for you. Like when we interview, make a case why you need to be selected. So with that, I just want to thank Subhi and Moj for the amazing job. They have been doing 99% of the work and sleepless night and all of that. But I think at the end of the day, when we look to the difference you made in the life of people, I think it's all worth it. So thank you again, appreciate it, and see you in the next class 3.
Thank you, Salim. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.